Welcome, everyone, to MUSC's 2021 production of Titus Andronicus. To begin today, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land. And I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, and I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. Titus Andronicus contains adult themes, including amputation, blood, cannibalism, death, decapitation, gore, misogyny, murder, mutilation, racism, rape, sexual assault, violence, and war. Please enjoy.
Flourish. Enter the tribunes, including Marcus Andronicus, and senators aloft, and then enter below Saturninus and his followers at one door, and Bassianus and his followers at another door, with other Romans, drums, and trumpets.
Noble patricians! Patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause, and countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I was his firstborn son, that was the last that wore the imperial diadem of Rome. Then let my father's honour live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity.
Romans, friends, followers, favourers of my right, if ever Bassianus, Caesar's son, were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome, keep then this passage to the capital, and suffer not dishonour to approach the imperial seat. To virtue consecrate, to justice continence, and nobility. But let desert in pure election shine, and Romans, fight for freedom in your choice.
Princes that strive by factions and by friends ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand a special party, have by common voice in election for the empery chosen Andronicus, surnamed Pius. A nobler man, a braver warrior lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is exiled home from weary wars against the barbarous Goths that with his sons, a terror to our foes, hath yoked a nation strong, trained up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome, and 5 times he hath returned bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field. And now, at last, laden with honour's spoils, returns the good Andronicus to Rome. Let us entreat by honour of his name, whom worthily you would have now succeed, and in the capital and senate's right, whom you pretend to honour and adore, that you withdraw you, abate your strengths, dismiss your followers, and plead your deserts in peace and humbleness.
How fair the tribune speaks to calm my thoughts.
Marcus Andronicus, so I do affy in thy uprightness and integrity, and so I love and honour thee in thy noble brother Titus and his sons, and her, to whom my thoughts are humbled awe, gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornament, that here I will dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortunes and the people's favour commit my cause in balance to be weighed.
Bassianus' soldiers exit.
Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all, and here dismiss you all. And to the love and favour of my country, commit myself, my person, and the cause. Rome, be as just and gracious unto me as I am confident and kind to thee. Open the gates and let me in.
Tribunes, and me, a poor competitor.
Flourish. They exit to go up into the Senate House. The tribunes and senators exit from the upper stage. Enter a captain.
Romans, make way! The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honour and with fortune, is returned from where he circumscribed with his sword, and brought to yoke the enemies of Rome.
Sound drums and trumpets, and then enter two of Titus' sons, Lucius and Mucius, and then two men, and then two other sons, Marcius and Quintus, then Titus Andronicus, and then Tamora, the queen of the Goths, and her sons Elarbus, Chiron, and Demetrius, with Aaron the Moor, and as many others as can be, then set down the coffin, and Titus speaks.
Hail, Rome, victorious in thy morning weeds! Cometh Andronicus, bound with laurel boughs, to resalute his country with his tears. Tears of true joy for his return to Rome, thou great defender of this capital. Stand gracious to the rights that we intend. Romans of 25 valiant sons, behold the poor remains alive and dead. These that survive let Rome reward with love. These that I bring unto their latest home with burial amongst their ancestors. Here Goths have given me leave to sheathe my sword. Titus, unkind and careless of thine own, why sufferest thou thy sons yet unburied, but to hover on the dreadful shore of Styx? Make way to lay them by their brethren. There, greet in silence as the dead are wont, and sleep in peace, slain in your country's wars. Oh, sacred receptacle of my joys, how many sons hast thou of mine in store that thou wilt never render to me more?
Give us the proudest prisoner of the Goths, so that we may hew his limbs, and on a pile sacrifice his flesh for this earthly prison of their bones, so the shadows be not unappeased, nor we disturb the precious prodigies on earth.
I give him you, the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Stay, Roman brethren! Victorious Titus, gracious conqueror, rue the tears I shed. A tears of passion for her, a mother's tears of passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, O think my sons to be as dear to me. Suffice not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs and return, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Patience yourself, madam, and pardon me, these are their brethren whom your Goths beheld, alive and dead, and for their brethren slain religiously, they ask a sacrifice. To this your son is marked, and die he must, to appease their groaning shadows that are gone.
Away with him, and make a fire straight, and with our swords upon a pile of wood, let's hew his limbs till they be clean consumed.
Oh, cruel, irreligious piety.
Scythia was never half so barbarous.
Oppose not Scythia unto ambitious Rome. Elarbus goes to rest, and we survive. Madam, stand resolved, but hope withal the selfsame gods that arm the Queen of Troy, with opportunity of sharp revenge, may favour Tamora, the Queen of Goth, to quit the bloody wrongs upon her foes.
Enter the sons of Andronicus again, with bloody swords.
See, Lord and Father, how we have performed our Roman rites. Albus' limbs are lopped, and entrails feed the sacrificing fire. Oh, smoke like incense doth perfume the sky. Remaineth not but to enter our brethren, and with loud larms welcome them to Rome.
Let it be so, and let Andronicus make this his latest farewell to their souls. In peace and honour rest you here, my sons, Rome's readiest champions. Secure from worldly chances and mishaps, here lurks no treason, here no envy swells, here grow no damned drugs. Here are no storms, no noise, but silence and eternal sleep. In peace and honour rest you here, my sons.
Enter Lavinia.
In peace and honour live Lord Titus long, my noble lord and father, live in fame. Lo, at this tomb my tributary tears I render for my brethren's obsequies. And at thy feet I kneel, with tears of joy shed on this earth for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud.
Kind Rome, that hast thus lovingly restored the cordial of mine age to glad my heart. Lavinia, outlive thy father's days, and fame's eternal date for virtue's praise.
Lavinia rises. Enter Marcus Andronicus, carrying a white robe. Enter aloft Saturninus, Bassianus, tribunes, senators, and guards.
Long live Lord Titus, my beloved brother, a gracious triumpher in the eyes of Rome.
Thanks, gentle tribune, noble brother Marcus.
And welcome, nephews, from successful wars, you that survive and you that sleep in fame. Titus Andronicus, the people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me, their tribune and their trust, this palliament of white and spotless hue, and name thee an election for the empery, along with these our late deceased emperor's sons. Be candidates then, and put it on, and help to set a head on headless Rome.
A better head her glorious body fits than his that shakes for age and feebleness. What, should I don this robe and trouble you? Be chosen with proclamations today, but tomorrow yield up rule, resign my life, and set abroad new business for you all? Rome, I have been thy soldier 40 years, and led my country's strength successfully. But give me a staff of honour for mine age, but not a sceptre to control the world.
Titus, thou shalt obtain and ask the empery.
Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell?
Patience, Prince Saturninus.
Romans, do me right. Patricians, draw your swords and sheath them not till Saturninus be Rome's emperor. Andronicus, for thou a ship to hell rather than rob me of the people's hearts.
Proud Saturnine, interrupter of the good that noble-minded Titus means to thee.
Content thee, Prince. I will restore to thee the people's hearts and wean them from themselves.
Andronicus, I do not flatter thee, but honour thee, and will do till I die. My faction, if thou strengthen with thy friends, I will most thankful be.
People of Rome, and people's tribunes here, I ask your voices. Will you bestow them friendly on Andronicus?
To gratify the good Andronicus and gratulate his safe return to Rome, the people will accept whom he admits.
Tribunes, I thank you, and this suit I make, that you create our Emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnin, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome and ripen justice in the commonweal. Then, if you'll elect by my advice, crown him and say, "Long live our Emperor."
With voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturninus, Rome's great emperor, and say, "Long live our Emperor Saturn."
A long flourish till Saturninus, Bassianus, and guards come down.
Titus Andronicus, for thy favours done to us in our election this day, I give thee thanks. And for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name and honourable family, Lavinia I will make my empress, Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon, her spouse. Tell me, Andronicus, doth this motion please thee?
It doth, my worthy lord, and in this match I hold me highly honoured of your grace. And here in sight of Rome, to Saturnin, king and commander of our commonweal, the wide world's emperor, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners. Receive them, then, the tribute that I owe, mine honour's ensigns humbled at thy feet.
Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee, and thy gifts Rome shall record. And when Rome do forget the least of these unspeakable deserts, Romans, forget your fealty to me.
Now, madam, are you prisoner to an emperor? To him that for your honour and your state will use you nobly and your followers?
A goodly lady. Trust me. Of the hue that I would choose, were I to choose anew, clear up, fair queen, that cloudy continence. Though chance of war hath wrought this change of cheer, thou canst not be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall be thy usage in every way. Rest on my word, and let not discontent daunt all your hopes. Madam, he comforts you, can make you greater than the Queen of Goths. Lavinia, you're not displeased with this?
Not I, my lord, sith true nobility that warrants these words in princely courtesy.
Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here we set our prisoners free, proclaim our honours, lords, with trump and drum.
Flourish. Saturninus and his guards exit with drums and trumpets. Tribunes and senators exit aloft.
Lord Titus, by your leave, this maid is mine.
How, sir? Are you in earnest then, my lord?
I, noble Titus, and resolved withal to do myself this reason and this right.
Sum quick is our Roman justice. This prince in justice seeth but his own.
That he will and shall if Lucius live.
Traitors avaunt, where is the emperor's guard?
Enter Saturninus and his guards.
Treason, my lord. Lavinia is surprised.
Surprised? By who?
By him that justly may bear his betrothed from all the world away.
Brothers, help to convey her hence away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe.
Bassianus, Lavinia, Marcus, Lucius, Quintus, and Marcius exit.
Follow, my lord, and I'll soon bring her back.
Saturninus, Tamora, Demetrius, Chiron, Aaron, and guards exit.
My lord, you pass not here.
What, villain boy, barrest me my way in Rome?
Help! Lucius! Help!
Enter Lucius.
My lord! You are unjust! And more than so! In wrongful quarrel, you have slain your son!
Nor you, nor he are any sons of mine. My sons would never so dishonour me. Traitor, restore Lavinia to the Emperor.
Dead, if you will, but not to be his wife. That is another's lawful promised love.
No, Titus, no, the Emperor needs her not, nor her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust by leisure him that mocks me once, but thee? Never. Nor thy traitorous haughty sons, confederates, or thus to dishonour me.
Monstrous, what reproachful words are these?
But go your ways. Go give that changing piece to him that flourished for her with his sword. A valiant son-in-law you shall enjoy, one fit to bandy with your lawless sons, to ruffle in the commonwealth of Rome.
These words are razors to my wounded heart.
And therefore, lovely Tamora, Queen of Goths, dost overshine the gallant dames of Rome. If thou be pleased with this my sudden choice, behold, I choose thee, Tamora, for my bride, and will create thee Empress of Rome. Speak, Queen of Goths, dost thou applaud my choice? And here I swear by all Roman gods, to sith priest and holy water are so near, in readiness for him Matius stands, I will not resalute the streets of Rome, or climb my palace, till from forth this place I lead espoused my bride along with me.
And here in sight of heaven to Rome I swear, if a Saturnin advance the Queen of Goths, she will a handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth.
Ascend, fair queen. Lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent from the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath her fortune conquered. There shall we consummate our spousal rites.
All but Titus exit.
I am not bid to wait upon this bride. Titus, when weren't thou wont to walk alone, dishonoured thus and challenged of wrongs?
Enter Marcus and Titus's sons, Lucius, Marcius, and Quintus.
Oh, Titus! Oh, see what thou hast done! In a bad quarrel slain a virtuous son?
No, foolish tribune, no son of mine, nor thou, nor these confederates in the deed that hath dishonoured all our family, unworthy brother and unworthy sons.
But let us give him burial as becomes. Give Lucius burial with our brethren.
Traitors, away! He rests not in this tomb. This monument 500 years hath stood, which I have sumptuously re-edified. Bury him where you can, he comes not here.
My lord, this is impiety in you. My nephew Lucius's deeds do plead for him. He must be buried with his brethren.
And shall, or him we will accompany.
And shall. What villain was it spoke that word?
He who would vouch it any place but here.
What? Would you bury him in my despite?
No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Lucius and to bury him.
Marcus, even thou hast struck upon my crest, and with these boys mine honour thou hast wounded. My foes, I do repute you every one, so trouble me no more, but get you gone.
He is not with himself. Let us withdraw.
Not I, till Lucius' bones be buried.
Brother, for in that name doth nature plead.
Father, and in that name doth nature speak.
Speak thou no more, if all the rest will speed.
Renowned Titus, more than half my soul.
Dear father, soul and substance of us all.
suffer thy brother Marcus to inter his noble nephew here in virtue's nest, that died in honour and Lavinia's cause. Thou art a Roman. Be not barbarous. Let not young Lucius, then, that was thy joy, be barred his entrance here.
Rise, Marcus, rise. The dismalest day is this that e'er I saw, to be dishonoured by my sons in Rome. Well, bury him, and bury me the next.
There lie thy bones, sweet Lucius, thy friends, till we with trophies do adore thy tomb. No man shed tears for noble Lucius. He lives in fame that died in virtue's cause.
All but Marcus and Titus exit.
My lord, to step out of these dreary dumps, how comes it that the subtle queen of Goths is of a sudden thus advanced in Rome?
I know not, Marcus, but I know it is. Whether by device or no, the heavens can tell. But is she not then beholding to the man that brought her for this high good turn so far? Yes, and will nobly him remunerate.
Flourish. Enter the Empress Saturninus, Tamora and her 2 sons, with Aaron the Moor, drums and trumpets, at one door. Enter at the other door Bassianus and Lavinia, with Lucius, Marcius, and Quintus, and others.
So, Bassianus, you have played your prize. God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride.
And you of yours, my lord. I say no more, nor wish no less, and so I take my leave.
Traitor! If Rome have law and we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape.
Rape, call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my true betrothed love, and now my wife? But let the laws of Rome determine all. Meanwhile, am I possessed of that is mine?
'Tis good, sir, you are very short with us, but if we live, we'll be as sharp with you.
My lord, what I have done, as best I may answer, I must and shall do with my life. Only thus much I give your grace to know, by all the duties that I owe to Rome, this gentleman, Lord Titus here, is in opinion and in honour wronged, that in the rescue of Lavinia by his own hand did slay his youngest son, in zeal to you. Receive him then to favour, good Saturnin, that hath expressed himself in all his deeds a father, a friend to thee and Rome.
Prince Bassianus, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonoured me. Let Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge how I have loved and honoured Saturnin.
My worthy lord, if ever Tamora were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, then hear me speak indifferently for all, and at my suit, sweet, pardon what is past.
What, madam, be dishonoured openly and basely put it up without revenge?
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonour you, but on mine honour dare I undertake for good Lord Titus innocence in all. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. My lord, be ruled by me, be one at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents, you are but newly planted in your throne. Yield at entreats, and then let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all and raise their faction and their family, the cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what it is to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, sweet Emperor, come, Andronicus. Take up this good old man, and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown.
Rise, Titus, rise. My empress hath prevailed.
I thank your majesty and her, my lord. These words, these looks infuse new life in me.
Titus, I am a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus, and let it be mine honour, my lords, that I have reconciled your friends and you. For you, Prince Bassianus, I have passed my word and promise to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. And you, Lavinia, by my advice, all humbled on your knees, you will beg pardon of his majesty.
We do, and vow to heaven and to his highness that what we did, mildly as we might, tendering our sister's honour and our own.
That on mine honour here do I protest.
Away, talk not and trouble us no more.
Nay, sweet emperor, the tribune and his nephews beg for grace. I will not be denied, sweetheart, look back.
Marcus, for thy sake and for thy brothers here, and at my lovely Tamora's entreats, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up. Lavinia, though you left me like a churl, I found a friend. And sure as death, I swore I would not part a bachelor from the priest. Come, if the emperor's court can feast 2 brides, Lavinia, you shall be my guest, and your friends. This day shall be a love day. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, an it please your majesty to hunt the panther and the hart with me, with horn and hound will give your grace bonjour.
Be it so, Titus, and gramercy too.
Sound trumpets. All but Aaron exit.
Now climbeth Tamora Olympus' top, safe out of fortune's shot, and sits aloft, secure of thunder's crack or lightning flashed, advanced above pale envy's threatening reach. Upon her wit doth earthly honour wait, and fortune stoops and trembles at her frown. Then, Aaron, arm thy heart, and fit thy thoughts to mount aloft with thy imperial mistress, and mount her pitch who thou in triumph long hast prisoner held, fettered in amorous chains. Away with slavish weeds and servile thoughts, I will be bright, and shine in pearl and gold, to wait upon this new-made empress. Ooh, to wait? Said I? To wanton with this queen, this goddess, this nymph, this siren that will charm Rome's Saturnin and make his ship rack in his common wheels? Hollow, what storm is this?
Enter Chiron and Demetrius, braving.
Oh, Chiron, thy years wants wit, thy wits wants edge, and manners, to intrude where I am graced, but may, for thou knowest, affected be.
Demetrius, thou dost overween in all. And so in this, to bear me down with braves. It's not the difference of a year or two that makes me less gracious or thee more fortunate. I am as able and as fit as thou to serve and to deserve my mistress's grace, and that my sword upon thee shall approve, and plead my passions for Lavinia's love.
Clubs, these lovers will not keep the peace.
Why, boy? Although our mother, unadvised, gave you a dancing rapier by your side, are you so desperate grown to threat your friends, huh? Go to. Have your lath glued within your sheath until you know better how to handle it.
Meanwhile, sir, with the little skill I have, full well shalt thou perceive how much I dare.
Aye, boy. Grow you so brave.
Why? How now, lords? So near the Emperor's palace, dare you draw and maintain such a quarrel openly? For shame, put up.
Not I, till I've sheathed my rapier in his bosom, and withal thrust those reproachful speeches down his throat that he hath breathed in my dishonour here.
For that I am prepared and full resolved, foul-spoken coward, that thunderest with thy tongue, and with thy weapon nothing dares perform.
Away, I say! Now by the gods that warlike Goths adore, this petty brabble will undo us all. Why, lords? And think you not how dangerous it is to jet upon a prince's right? What, is Lavinia then become so loose, or Bassianus so degenerate, that for her love such quarrels may be broached without controlment, justice, or revenge? Young lords, beware.
I care not. I love Lavinia more than all the world.
Youngling, learn thou to make some meaner choice. Lavinia is thine elder brother's hope.
Why? Are you mad? I tell you, lords, you do but plot your deaths by this device.
Aaron, 1,000 deaths would I propose to achieve her, whom I love.
To achieve her how?
Why makest thou it so strange? She is a woman, and therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, and therefore may be won. She is Lavinia, and therefore must be loved. Though Bassianus be the emperor's brother, better than he have worn Vulcan's badge.
Aye, and as good as Saturninus may.
And why should he despair that knows to court it with words, their looks, and liberality?
Why, then it seems some certain snatch or so would serve your turns.
Aye, so the turn was served.
Aaron, thou hast hit it.
Would you had hit it too? Then should not we be tired with this ado? Why, hark you, and are you such fools to square for this? Would it offend you then that both should speed?
Faith, not me.
Nor me.
For shame. Be friends, and join for that you jar. A speedier course than lingering languishment must we pursue, and I have found the path. My lords, a solemn hunting is in hand. There will the lovely Roman ladies troop. The forest walks are wide. Single you thither this dainty doe, and strike her home by force, if not by words. This way, or not at all, stand you in hope. The emperor's court is like the house of fame, the palace full of tongues and eyes and ears. The woods are ruthless, dreadful, deaf and dull. There speak and strike, brave boys, and take your turns. There serve your lust, shadowed from heaven's eye, and revel in Lavinia's treasury.
Thy counsel, lad, smells of no cowardice.
I.
They exit. Enter Titus Andronicus and his 3 sons, and Marcus, making a noise with hounds and horns.
The hunt is up, the moon is bright and grey, the fields are fragrant and the woods are green. Uncouple here and wake the emperor and his lovely bride, and rouse the prince and ring a hunter's peal, that all the court may echo with the noise. I've been troubled in my sleep this night, but dawning day new comfort hath inspired.
Hear a cry of hounds and wind horns and a peal. Then enter Saturninus, Tamora, Bassianus, Lavinia, Chiron, Demetrius, and their attendants.
Many good morrows to your majesty, madam, to you as many and as good. I promised your grace a hunter's peal.
And you have rung it lustily, my lords. Somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Lavinia, how say you?
I say no. I have been broad awake 2 hours or more.
Come on then, horse and chariot let us have him into our sport. Madam, now you shall see our Roman hunting.
I have dogs, my lord. We'll rouse the proudest panther in the chase and climb the highest promontory top.
And I have horse will follow where the game makes way and runs like swallows o'er the plain.
Chiron, we hunt not, we with horse nor hound, but hope to pluck a dainty doe to ground.
They exit. Enter Aaron alone, carrying a bag of gold.
He that had wit would think that I had none to bury so much gold under a tree. Let this gold coin a stratagem which, cunningly effected, will beget a very excellent piece of villainy.
Enter Tamora alone to Aaron the Mole.
My lovely Aaron, wherefore look'st thou sad when everything doth make a gleeful boast? The birds chant melody on every bush, the snakes lie rolled in the gleeful sun, the green leaves quiver in the cooling wind and make a checkered shadow on the ground. Under their sweet shade, Aaron, let us sit, and whilst the babbling echo mocks the hounds, let us mark their yellowing noise, and we may, after conflict such as was supposed, lay wreathed in each other's arms and possess a golden slumber.
Madam, though Venus govern your desires, Saturn is dominator over mine. What signifies my deadly standing eye, my silence, and my cloudy melancholy, my fleece of woolly hair that now uncurls even as an adder when she doth unroll to do some fatal execution? No, madam, these are no venereal signs. Vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Hark, Tamora, the empress of my soul. This is the day of doom for Bassianus. His nightingale must lose her tongue today. Thy sons make pillage of her chastity and wash their hands in Bassianus's blood. Seest thou this letter? Take it up, I pray thee, and give the king this fatal plotted scroll. Now question me no more, we are espied.
Oh, my sweet Aaron, sweeter to me than life.
No more, great empress. Bassianus comes. Be cross with him, and I'll go fetch your sons to back your quarrels, whatever they be.
He exits.
Who have we here? Rome's royal empress, unfurnished of her well-beseeming troop. Or is it Diane, habited like her, who hath abandoned her holy groves to see the general hunting in this forest?
Saucy controller of my private steps, had I the power that some say Diane had, thy temples should be planted presently with horns, and hounds should drive upon thy new transformed limbs, unmannerly intruder as thou art.
Under your patience, gentle empress. 'Tis thought you have a goodly gift in horning, and to be doubted that your Moor and you were singled forth to try experiments. Dove shield your husband from his hounds today. 'Tis pity they should take him for a stag.
Believe me, Queen, your dark-skinned Cimmerian doth make your virtue of his body's hue. Spotted, detested, and abominable. Why are you here sequestered from all your train, dismounted from your snow-white, goodly steed, and wandered here to an obscure plot, accompanied but with a barbarous Moor, if foul desire had not conducted you?
And being intercepted in your sport, great reason that my noble lord be rated for sauciness. I pray you, let us hence, and let her joy her raven-coloured love. This valley fits the purpose passing well.
The king, my brother, shall have notice of this.
Aye, for these slips have made him noted long. Good king to be so mightily abused.
Why, I have patience to endure this.
Enter Chiron and Demetrius.
How now, dear mother? Why do you look so pale?
Have I not reason, think you, to look pale? These two have ticed me here to this place, a barren, detested vale you see it is. Here the sun never shines, here nothing breeds. And when they showed me this abhorred pit, they told me that here, at dead time of the night, 1,000 fiends, 1,000 hissing snakes would make such terrible and confused cries as any mortal body hearing it should straight fall mad or else die suddenly. No sooner had they told me this hellish tale, but straight they told me they would bind me here and leave me to this miserable death. And then they called me foul adulteress, lascivious Goth, and all the bitterest terms that ever ear did hear to such effect. And had you not come, this vengeance on me had they executed. Revenge it as you love your mother's life, or be you not henceforth called my children.
This is a witness that I am thy son.
And this for me, struck home to show my strength. I come, barbarous Tamora, for no name fits thy nature but thy own.
Oh, give me the dagger, boys. Your mother's hand shall right your mother's wrongs.
Stay, madam. Here is more belongs to her. First, thrash the corn, then after, burn the straw. This minion stood upon her chastity, upon her nuptial vow, her loyalty.
Drag hence her husband to some secret hole, and make his dead trunk pillow to our lust.
But when you have the honey you desire, let not this wasp outlive us both to sting.
I warrant you, madam, we will make that sure. Come, mistress. Now perforce we will enjoy that nice preserved honesty of yours.
Oh, Tamora! Thou bearest a woman's face.
I will not hear her speak. Away with her.
My lords! Entreat her hear me but a word.
Oh, listen, fair madam. Let it be your glory to see her tears.
Oh, do not learn her wrath. She taught it to thee. The milk thou suck'st from her did turn to marble, even at thy teat thy hadst thou tyranny. Yet not every mother breeds sons alike. Do thou entreat her show a woman's pity.
What, would you have me prove myself a bastard?
True, the raven does not hatch a lark, yet have I heard, oh, could I find it now? Some say that ravens foster forlorn children, whilst their own birds famish in their nests. Be to me, though thy hard heart say no, nothing so kind, but something pitiful.
I know not what it means. Away with her.
Oh, let me teach thee! For my father's sake, who gave thee life when well he might have slain thee. Do not be stubborn, open thy deaf ears!
Had you never offended me, even for his sake, I am pitiless. Remember, boys, I poured forth tears in vain to save your brother from the sacrifice, but fierce Andronicus would not relent. Therefore, away with her and use her as you will. The worse to her, the better loved of me.
Oh, Tamora, be called a gentle queen, and with thine own hands kill me in this place. For 'tis not life that I have begged so long.
What begs thou then? Woman, let me go.
His present death, I beg. And one thing more, that womanhood denies my tongue to tell. Oh, keep me from their worse than killing lust, and tumble my body into some loathsome pit where never man's eye may behold my body. Do this and be a charitable murderer.
So should I rob my sweet sons of their fee? No. Let them satisfy their lust on thee.
Away, for thou hast stayed us here too long.
No grace, no womanhood, oh beastly creature, the blot and enemy to our general name, confusion.
Nay, then I'll stop your mouth. Bring her husband. This is the hole where Aaron bid us hide him.
They put Bassianus's body in the pit and exit, carrying off Lavinia.
Farewell, my son, see you make her sure. Ne'er let my heart know merry cheer, indeed, till all the Andronici be made away. Now will I hence to seek out my lovely Moor, and let my spleenful sons this troll deflower.
She exits. Enter Aaron with two of Titus's sons, Quintus and Marcius.
Come on, my lords, the better foot before, straight will I bring you to the loathsome pit where I espied the panther fast asleep.
My sight is very dull, whatever it bodes.
And mine, I promise you. Were it not for shame, well could I leave our sport to sleep a while.
What, art thou fallen? Subtle hole is this, upon whose leaves are drops of new-shed blood. Very fatal place it seems to me. Speak, brother, hast thou hurt thee with the fall?
Oh, brother! With the dismalest object hurt that ever I with sight made heart lament.
Now will I fetch the king to find them here, that he thereby may have a likely guess that these were they that made away his brother.
Why dost thou help me? Comfort me and help me out from this hole.
Well, I am with an uncouth fear. A chilling sweat o'erruns my trembling joints. My heart suspects more than mine eye can see.
To prove thou hast a true divining heart, Aaron and thou, look down into this den and see a fearful sight of blood and death.
Aaron is gone, and my compassionate heart will not permit me to behold the thing. Oh, tell me who it is, for ne'er till now was I a child to fear I know not what.
Lord Bassianus lies in blood, all on a heap, like to a slaughtered lamb. In this detested, dark, blood-drinking pit.
If it be dark, how do you know it's him?
Upon his bloody finger he wears a precious ring that lightens all this hole, like a candle in some monument, and doth shine light upon the dead man's earthy cheeks, and shows the ragged entrails of this pit. Oh, brother, help me with thy fainting hand!
Reach me thy hand that I may help thee out, or, wanting strength to do thee so much good, I may be plucked into the swallowing womb, this deep pit, poor Bassianus' grave. I have no strength to pull thee to the brink.
Nor no strength to climb without your help.
Your hand once more. I cannot come to thee. You cannot come to me. I am coming to you.
Enter Emperor Saturninus with attendants and Aaron the Moor.
Along with me, I'll see what hole is here and what he is that leapt into it. Say, who art thou that lately didst descend into this gaping hollow of earth?
The unhappy sons of old Andronicus, brought hither in a most unlucky hour, to find thy brother Bassianus dead.
My brother? Dead? You jest, surely. He and his lady are at the lodge upon the north side of this pleasant chase. It's just not an hour since I left them there.
We know not where you left them all alive, but here, out alas, here have we found him dead.
Enter Tamora, Titus Andronicus, and Lucius.
Where is my lord the king?
Here, Tamora, like grieved with killing grief.
Where is thy brother Bassianus?
Poor Bassianus here lies murdered.
Then all too late I bring this fateful note, the complot of this timeless tragedy, and wonder greatly that man's face can fold in pleasing smiles such murderous tyranny.
And if we miss to meet him handsomely, sweet huntsman, Bassianus 'tis we mean, do thou so much as dig the grave for him? Thou knowest our meaning, look for thy reward among the nettles at the elder tree, which overshades the mouth of that same pit where we decree to bury Bassianus. Do this and purchase us thy lasting friends. Oh, Tamora! This is the pit, and that's the elder tree. Look, sirs, if you can find the huntsman out that ought to have buried Bassianus here.
My gracious lord, here is the bag of gold.
2 of thy whelps, fell curs of bloody kind, have here bereft my brother of his life. Sirs, drag them from the pit unto the prison, there let them bide until we devise some never heard of torturing pain for them.
What, are they in this pit? Oh, wondrous thing, how easily murder is discovered.
High Emperor, upon my feeble knee I beg this boon with tears not lightly shed, that this fell fault of my accursed sons, accursed if the faults be proved in them.
If it be proved, you see it is apparent. Who found this letter? Tamora, was it you?
Andronicus himself did take it up.
Yeah, I did, my lord, yet let me be their bail. They shall be ready at your highness's will to answer their suspicion with their lives.
Thou shalt not bail them, let them not speak a word, that the guilt is plain.
Andronicus, I will entreat the king. Your sons, they'll do well enough.
Come, Lucius, come. Stay not to talk with them.
They exit, with attendants leading Marcius and Quintus and bearing the body of Bassianus. Enter the Empress's sons, Demetrius and Chiron, with Lavinia, her hands cut off and her tongue cut out, and ravished.
So now go tell, and if thy tongue can speak, who 'twas that cut thy tongue and ravished thee?
Write down thy mind, bewray thy meaning so, and if thy stumps will let thee play the scribe.
I'll see how with signs and tokens she can scroll.
Go home, call for sweet water, wash thy hands.
Sweet water? She hath no tongue to call, nor hands to wash. And so let's leave her to her silent walks.
Chiron and Demetrius exit. Enter Marcus from hunting.
Who is this? My niece that flies away so fast? Cousin, a word. Where is your husband? If I do dream, would all my wealth would wake me? If I do wake, some planet strike me down that I may slumber an eternal sleep. Speak, gentle niece, what stern, ungentle hand hath lopped and hewed and made thy body bare of her two branches? Why dost thou not speak? But alas, a crimson river of warm blood doth rise and fall between thy rosy lips. But sure some man hath deflowered thee and cut thy tongue. Ah, now thou turnest thy way, thy face by shame, and notwithstanding all this loss of blood is from a conduit with 3 issuing spouts, yet do thy cheeks look red as Titan's face. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say it is so? Oh, that I knew thy heart, and knew the beast, that I might rail at him to ease my mind. Oh, sorrow concealed, like an oven stock, doth burn the heart to cinders. Fair Philomela, why, she but lost her tongue, and in a tedious sampler sowed her mind. But, gentle niece, that mean is cut from thee. A craftier Tereus cousin hast thou met, and he hath cut those pretty fingers off. Oh, had he seen those lily hands tremble like aspen leaves upon a lute, he would not have touched them for his life. Or had he heard the heavenly harmony with that sweet tongue hath made, he would have dropped his knife and fell asleep. Come, let us make thy father blind, for such a sight will blind her father's eye. 1 hour's storm will drown the fragrant meads. What will whole months of tears thy father's eyes? Do not draw back, for we will mourn with thee. Oh, could our mourning ease thy misery?
They exit. Enter the judges and senators, Titus's 2 sons, Quintus and Marcius, bound, passing on to the stage to the place of execution, and Titus going before, pleading.
Hear me, grave fathers, noble tribunes, stay. For pity of mine age, whose youth was spent in dangerous wars, whilst you securely slept, and for all my blood in Rome's great quarrel shed, and for these bitter tears which now you see filling the aged wrinkles in my cheeks, be pitiful to my condemned sons. For these tribunes in the dust, I write my heart's deep languor and my soul's sad tears. Oh, let my tears stanch the appetite. My son's sweet blood will make it shame and blush.
Enter Lucius with his weapon drawn.
Oh, reverend tribunes, oh, gentle aged men, unbind my sons, reverse the doom of death, and let me say, that which never wept before, my tears are now prevailing orators.
O noble father, you lament in vain. The tribunes hear you not. No man is by. You account your sorrows to a stone.
Lucius, for thy brothers let me plead. Grave tribunes, once more I entreat of you.
My gracious lord, no tribune hears you speak.
Why, 'tis no matter, man. If they did hear, they would not mark me. If they did mark, they would not pity me. Yet plead I must, and bootless unto them, and therefore I recount my sorrows to the stones, who, though they cannot answer my distress, are better than the tribunes, for that they will not intercept my tale. When I do weep, they receive my tears and seem to weep with me. A stone is silent and offendeth not, and tribunes with their tongues doom men to death. But wherefore standest thou with thy weapon drawn?
To rescue my 2 brothers from their death, for which attempt the judges have pronounced my everlasting doom of banishment.
Why, foolish Lucius, dost thou not perceive that Rome is but a wilderness of tigers? How happy art thou then from these devourers to be banished? But who comes with our brother Marcus here?
Enter Marcus with Lavinia.
Titus, prepare thy aged eyes to weep. I bring consuming sorrow to thine age.
Will it consume me? Let me see it then.
This was your daughter.
Why, Marcus? So she is.
Ay me, this kills me!
Faint-hearted boy, arise and look upon her. Speak, Lavinia. What accursed hand hath made thee handless in thy father's sight? My grief was at the height before thou camest, and give me a sword, or I'll chop off my hands too, for they have fought for Rome and all in vain. In bootless prayer have they been held up, and they have served me to effectless use. Now all the service that I require of them is that the one will help to cut the other. 'Tis well, Lavinia, that thou hast no hands, for hands do Rome's service but in vain.
Speak, gentle sister, who hath martyred thee?
That delightful engine of her thoughts that blabbed them with such pleasing eloquence is torn from forth that pretty hollow cage.
Ah, say thou for her who hath done this deed.
Thus I found her straying in the park, seeking to hide herself as the deer that hath received some unrecurring wound.
It was, my dear, and he that wounded her hath hurt me more than had he killed me dead. This way to death my wretched sons are gone. Here stands my other son, a banished man, and here my brother weeping at my woes. But that which gives my soul the greatest spurn is dear Lavinia, dearer than my soul. What shall I do now I behold thy lively body so? Thou hast no hands to wipe away thy tears, nor tongue to tell me who hath martyred thee. Thy husband, he is dead, and for his death thy brothers are condemned and dead by this. Look, Marcus, our son Lucius, look on her.
Perchance she weeps because they killed her husband, perchance because she knows them innocent.
If they did kill thy husband, then be joyful, because the law hath taken revenge on them. No, they would not do so foul a deed. But witness the sorrow that their sister makes. Gentle Lavinia, let me kiss thy lips, make some sign of how I may do thee ease. Or shall we cut away our hands like thine, or shall we bite our tongues and in dumb shows pass the remainder of our hateful days? What shall we do?
Sweet father, cease your tears, For at your grief, see how my wretched sister sobs and weeps.
Patience, dear niece. Good Titus, dry thine eyes.
Marcus, Marcus, brother, thy napkin cannot drink a tear of mine, for thou, poor man, hast drowned it with thine own.
Ah, my Lavinia, I'll wipe thy cheeks.
Marcus, Mark, I understand her signs. Had she a tongue to speak now, would she say that to her brother which I said to thee? His napkin with his true tears all bewet can do no service on her sorrowful cheeks.
Enter Aaron the Moor alone.
Titus Andronicus, my lord the emperor sends thee this word, that if thou love thy sons, let Marcus, Lucius, or thyself, old Titus, cut off your hand and send it to the king. He for the same will send thee both thy sons alive, and that shall be the ransom for their fault.
Oh, gracious emperor, oh, gentle Aaron, with all my heart I'll send the emperor my hand. Good Aaron, wilt thou help to chop it off?
Stay, father, for that noble hand of thine that hath thrown down so many enemies shall not be sent. My hand shall serve the turn. My youth can better spare my blood than you, and therefore mine shall save my brothers' lives.
My hand hath been but idle. Let it serve to ransom my two nephews from their death. Then have I kept it to a worthy end.
Nay, come, agree whose hand should go along, for fear they die before their pardon come.
My hand shall go.
By heaven, it shall not go.
Sirs, strive no more. Such withered herbs as these are meet for plucking up, and therefore mine.
Sweet, sweet father, if I shall be thought thy son, let me redeem my brothers both from death.
And for our father's sake and mother's care, now let me show a brother's love to thee.
Agree between you. I will spare my hand.
Then I'll go fetch an axe.
But I will use the axe.
Lucius and Marcus exit.
Come hither, Aaron. I'll deceive them both. Lend me thy hand, and I will give thee mine.
If that be called deceit, I will be honest, and never whilst I live deceive men so. But I'll deceive thee in another sort, and you'll say ere half an hour pass.
Enter Lucius and Marcus again.
Now stay your strife. What shall be is dispatched. Good Aaron, give his majesty my hand. Tell him it was a hand that warded him from 1,000 dangers. Bid him bury it.
I go, Andronicus, and for your hand look by and by to have both thy sons with thee. Their heads, I mean. How this villainy doth fat me with the very thoughts of it. Let fools do good and fair men call for grace. Aaron will have his soul black like his face.
He exits.
Oh, here I lift this one hand up to heaven and bow this feeble ruin to the earth. If any power pities wretched tears, to that I call. What? Wouldst thou kneel with me? Do then, dear heart, for heaven shall hear our prayers.
Oh, brother, speak with possibility, and do not break into these deep extremes.
Is not my sorrow deep, having no bottom? Then my passions bottomless be with them.
But yet let reason govern thy lament.
Enter a messenger with 2 heads and a hand.
Worthy Andronicus,
ill art thou repaired for that good hand thou sentest the emperor. Here are the heads of thy 2 noble sons. And here's thy hand, in scorn to thee sent back. Your grief is their sport, your resolution mocked, that woe is me to think upon thy woes more than remembrance of my father's death.
He exits.
My heart an ever-burning hell.
Die that this sight should make so deep a wound.
When will this fearful slumber have an end?
Now farewell, flattery. Die, Andronicus. Do not slumber. See thy 2 sons' heads, thy warlike hand, thy mangled daughter here, thy other banished son struck pale with bloodlessness, and thy brother, I, even like a stony image, cold and numb. Now more will I control thy griefs. Now is a time to storm. Why art thou still? Why dost thou laugh? It fits not this hour.
I have not another tear to shed. Which way shall I find revenge's cave? For these 2 heads do seem to speak to me and tell me that I will never find bliss till all these mischiefs be returned again, even in their throats that hath committed them. Or come, let me see what task I have to do. Oh, you heavy people, circle me about that I may turn to each one of you and swear unto my soul to right your wrongs. The vow is made. Come, brother, take a head, and in this hand the other will I bear. And Lavinia, thou shalt be employed in these arms. Bear thou my hand, sweet wench, between thy teeth. As for thee, boy, go get thee from my sight. Thou art an exile and must not stay. Go to the Goths and raise an army there. And if you love me, as I think you do, let's kiss and part, for there is much to do.
All but Lucius exit.
Farewell, Andronicus, my noble father. Farewell, proud Rome, till Lucius come again. Farewell, Lavinia, my noble sister. Oh, now nor Lucius nor Lavinia lives but in hateful griefs. If Lucius lives, he will requite your wrongs, and make proud Saturnine and his empress beg at the gates. Now will I to the Goths, to raise a power to be revenged upon Rome and Saturnine.
Lucius exits. A banquet. Enter Titus Andronicus, Marcus, Lavinia, and the boy young Lucius, with servants.
So now sit and look, you eat no more than will preserve just so much strength in us as will revenge these bitter woes of ours. Marcus, unknit that sorrow-wreathen knot. Thy niece and I, poor creatures, cannot passionate our tenfold grief with folded arms. This poor right hand of mine is left to tyrannize upon my breast, who, when my heart all mad with misery beats in this hollow prison of my flesh, then thus I thump it down. When thy poor heart beats with outrageous beating, thou canst not strike it thus to make it still. Wound it with sighing, girl, or get some little knife between thy teeth, and just against thy heart make thou a hole.
Fie, brother, fie. Teach her not thus to lay such violent hands upon her tender life.
Oh, how now? Has sorrow made thee dote already? Why, Marcus, no man should be mad but I. What violent hands can she lay on her life? To talk of hands, lest we remember still that we have none. As if we should forget we had no hands, had Marcus did not name the word of hands. Come, let's fall to, and gentle girl, eat this. Here is no drink. Hark, Marcus, what she says. I can interpret all her martyred signs. She says she drinks no other drink but tears, brewed with her sorrow mashed upon her cheeks. Speechless complainer, I will learn thy thought, and by practice learn to know thy meaning.
Good grandsire, leave these bitter, deep laments. Make my aunt merry with some pleasing tale.
Peace, tender sapling, thou art made of tears, and tears will quickly wipe thy life away. What dost thou strike at, Marcus, with thy knife?
At that I've killed, my lord, a fly.
Out on thee, murderer! Thou kill'st my heart! A deed of death done on the innocent becomes not Titus's brother. Get thee gone!
Alas, my lord, I have but killed a fly.
But how if that fly had a father and a mother? How would he hang his slender gilded wings and buzz lamenting doings in the air? Poor defenseless fly, that with pretty buzzing melody came here to make us merry, and thou hast killed him!
Pardon me, sir. It was a black, ill-favoured fly, as to the Empress more. Therefore I killed him.
Oh, then pardon me for reprehending thee. Give me thy knife. There's for thyself, and that's for Tamora. Oh, sirrah.
Poor man, we've so wrought on him, he takes false shadows for true substances.
Come, take away. Lavinia, go with me. I'll to thy closet and go read with thee. Sad stories chanced in the times of old. Come, boy, and go with me. Thy sight is young, and thou shalt read when mine begin to dazzle.
They exit.
And here ends part 1. Titus Andronicus, 2021, part 2.
Flourish. Enter Lucius with an army of Goths, with drums and soldiers.
Help, grandfather, help! My Aunt Lavinia follows me everywhere, I know not why. Good Uncle Marcus, see how swift she comes. Alas, sweet aunt, I know not what you mean.
Stand by me, Lucius. Do not fear your aunt.
She loves thee, boy, too well to do thee harm.
Aye, when my father was in Rome she did.
What means my niece Lavinia by these signs?
Fear her not. See, Lucius, see how much she makes of thee.
Canst thou not guess why she plies thee thus?
My lord, I know not, nor can I guess, unless some fit or frenzy do possess her. For I have heard my grandfather say full oft, extremity of griefs would make men mad. That made me to fear, my lord, which made me throw down my books and fly. Causeless, perhaps. Pardon me, sweet aunt, and madam, if my uncle Marcus go, I will most willingly attend your ladyship.
Lucius, I will.
How now, Lavinia? Marcus, what means this? Some book there is that she desires to see? Well, which is it, girl, of these? Open them, boy. Come and take choice of all my library. Reveal the damned contriver of this deed. Why does she lift up her arms in sequence thus?
I think she means that there were more than one confederate in the fact.
Lucius, what book is it that she tusseth so?
Grandfather, 'tis Ovid's Metamorphosis.
For love of her that's gone, perhaps she culled it from among the rest.
Soft. So busily she turns the leaves. Help her, what would she find? Lavinia, shall I read? This is the tragic tale of Philomel, and treats of Tereus's treason and his rape.
See, brother, see. Note how she quotes the leaves.
Lavinia, wert thou thus surprised, ravished, and wronged, as Philomela was, forced in the ruthless, vast, and gloomy woods?
Why should nature build so foul a den, unless the gods delight in tragedies?
Give signs, sweet girl, for here are none but friends. What Roman lord it was durst do the deed?
Sit down, sweet niece. Brother, sit down by me. My lord, look here, Lavinia. This sandy plot is plain. Guide if thou canst. See, I have writ my name without the help of any hand at all. If thou can, here display at last. Guide thy pen and print thy sorrows plain, that we may know the traitors and the truth. Oh, do you read, my lord, what she hath writ?
Chiron, Demetrius.
What? The lustful sons of Tamora, performers of this heinous, bloody deed? Oh, calm thee, gentle lord, although I know there is enough written upon this earth to stir a mutiny. My lord, kneel down with me. Lavinia, kneel, sweet boy, and swear with me that we will prosecute mortal revenge upon these traitorous Goths, and see their blood, or die with this reproach.
Come, go with me into thine armory, Lucius, and I'll fit thee. You shall carry to the Empress's sons presents that I intend to send them both. Thou'lt do my message, wilt thou not?
Aye, with my dagger in their bosoms, grandfather.
No, boy, not so. I'll teach you another way. Lavinia, come. Marcus, look to my house. Lucius and I will go and brave it at the court.
All but Marcus exit.
Oh, heavens. Can you hear a good man groan and not relent, or not compassion him? Revenge the heavens for old Andronicus.
He exits. Enter Aaron, Chiron, and Demetrius at one door, and at the other door, young Lucius and another, with a bundle of weapons and verses written upon.
Demetrius is the son of Lucius. He hath some message to deliver us.
Aye, some mad message from his mad grandfather.
My lords, I greet your honours from Andronicus. Pray the Roman gods confound you both.
Ramesses, lovely Lucius. What's the news?
That you are both deciphered, that's the news, for villains marked with rape. May it please you, my grandfather hath sent by me the best weapons of his armoury to gratify your honourable youth, and with his gifts present to your lordships, so you may be armed and appointed well. and so I leave you both, like bloody villains.
He
What's
exits.
here? A scroll and written roundabout. Let's see. Intige vitae scelerisque prolus non eget moi yakuli nekaku.
Oh, it's a verse in Horace. I know it well. I read it in the grammar long ago.
Aye, just. A verse in Horace, right, you have it. Now, what a thing it is to be an ass. Here's no sound jest, the old man hath found their guilt. Now, young lords, was it not a happy star led us to Rome to be advanced to this height? It did me good before the palace gate to brave the tribune in his brother's hearing.
But me more good to see so great a lord basely insinuate and send us gifts.
Had he not reason, Lord Demetrius? Did you not use his daughter very friendly?
Come, let us go and pray to all the gods for our beloved mother in her pains.
Pray to the devils the gods have given us over.
Trumpets sound off stage.
Why does the Emperor's trumpets flourish thus?
Be like for joy. The Emperor hath a son.
Soft, who comes here?
Enter nurse with a blackamoor child in her arms.
Good morrows, lords. Oh, tell me, did you see Aaron?
More or less, here Aaron is, and what with Aaron now?
Oh, gentle Aaron, we are all undone. Now help or woe betide you for evermore.
Why, what a caterwauling dost thou keep? What dost thou rap and fumble in thy arms?
Oh, that I would hide from heaven's eye our empress's shame and Rome's disgrace. She is delivered, lords, she is delivered.
To whom?
I mean, she is brought her bed.
Well, God give her good rest. What hath he sent her?
A devil.
A devil's dam, a joyful issue.
A joyless, dismal, black, and sorrowful issue. Here is the babe, as loathsome as a toad, as among the fair-faced breeders of our clime. The Empress sends it thee, his stamp, thy seal, and bids thee christen it with thy dagger's point.
Zounds, is black so base a hue? Sweet blouse, you are a beauteous blossom, sure.
Villain, what hast thou done?
That which thou canst not undo.
Thou hast undone our mother.
Villain, I have done thy mother.
And therein, hellish dog, thou hast undone her!
It shall not live.
It shall not die.
Aaron, it must. The mother wills it so.
Why, must it, nurse? Then let no man but I do execution on my flesh and blood.
Oh! Broach the tadpole on my rapier's point. Nurse, give it me! My sword shall soon dispatch it.
Sooner this sword shall plough thy bowels up. Stay, murderous villains. Will you kill your brother? He dies upon my cimeter's sharp point that touches my firstborn son and heir. I tell you, lords, nothing shall seize this prey out of his father's hands. What, you sanguine, you shallow-hearted boys, you white-limed walls, you alehouse-painted signs. Tell the Empress from me. I'm of age to keep mine own, excuse it how she can.
Wilt thou betray thy noble mistress thus?
My mistress is my mistress. This, myself, the vigor and the picture of my youth, this maugre all the world. Will I keep safe, or some of you shall smoke for it in Rome?
By this our mother is forever shamed.
Rome will despise her for this foul escape.
The Emperor in his rage will doom her death.
Blush to think upon this enogamy.
Why, there's the privilege your beauty bears. Thy treacherous hue that betrays with blushing the close Anaxan counsels of thy heart. Look how the black slave smiles upon thy father. He is your brother, lords, sensibly fed of that same blood that first gave life to you. Nay, he is your brother by the surer side, although My seal be stamped in his face.
Aaron, what shall I say unto the Empress?
Yeah, advise thee, Aaron, what is to be done, and we will all subscribe to thy advice. Just save our child, so we may all be safe.
Then sit we down, and let us all consult. Keep there. Now talk at pleasure at your safety.
How many women saw this child of his?
Cornelia, the midwife, and myself, and no one else but the delivered Empress.
The Empress, the midwife, and yourself. Two may keep counsel while the third's away. Go to the Empress, and tell her this I said.
What meanest thou, Aaron? Why did you do this?
Oh, Lord, sir, 'tis deed of policy. Shall she live to betray this guilt of ours? A long-tongued, babbling gossip? No, lords, no. And now be it known to you my full intent. Not far one Muletus, my countryman, his wife but yesternight was brought to bed. His child is like to her, fair as you are. Go pack with him, and give the mother gold, and tell them both the circumstance of all, and how by this their child shall be advanced and be received for the emperor's heir, and substituted in the place of mine, to calm this tempest whirling in the court, and let the emperor dandle him for his own. Hark you, lords, you see I've given her physic, and you must needs bestow her funeral. This done, send the midwife presently to me. Then let the ladies tattle what they please.
Aaron, I see. Thou wilt not trust the air with secrets.
For this care of Tamora, herself and hers are highly bound to thee.
Demetrius and Kieran exit, carrying the nurse's body.
Now to the Goths. Swift as swallow flies, there to dispose this treasure in mine arms, and secretly to greet the Empress's friends. Come on, I'll bear you hence. I'll make you feed on berries and on roots, and suck the goat and feed on curds and whey, and bring you up to be a warrior and command a camp.
He exits with the baby. Enter Titus, old Marcus, his son Publius, young Lucius, and other gentlemen, Caius and Sempronius, with bows, and Titus bears the arrows with letters on the ends of them.
Come, come, Marcus, kinsman, this is the way. Sir boy, let me see your archery. Look, you draw home enough, and 'tis there straight. But be you remembered, Marcus, the god of justice has gone, she's fled. Sirs, take to your tools, you cousins shall cast your nets and catch her in the sea. Publius and Sempronius, you must dig and pierce the inmost center of the earth. Then, when you come to Pluto's region, tell him it is for justice and for aid, and that it comes from old Andronicus, shaken with sorrows in ungrateful Rome. Ah, Rome. What time I threw the people's suffrages on him that thus doth tyrannize o'er me. Or go, get you gone, and pray be careful all.
Publius, is it not a heavy case to see thy noble uncle thus distract?
Therefore, my lords, we must feed his humour kindly as we may, till time beget some careful remedy.
Kinsman, his sorrows are past remedy, but join with the Goths, and with revengeful war take wreak on Rome and vengeance on the traitor Saturninus.
Publius, how now? What, have you met with justice?
No, my good lord, but Pluto sends you word that if you will have revenge from hell, you shall.
He doth me wrong to feed me with delays. Thus, we will solicit heaven and move the gods to send down justice to wreak our wrongs. Let's come to this gear. You are a good archer, Marcus. Ad Jovem, that's for you here. Ad Apollinem, ad Martem, that's for myself. Here, boy, to Pallas, here to Mercury, to Saturn, not to Saturnin. Well, to it, boy. Marcus, loose when I bid. Of my word, I've written to effect. There is not one god left unsolicited.
Kinsman, shoot all your shafts into the court. We will afflict the emperor in his pride.
Now, masters, draw. Well done, young Lucius.
My lord, I am a mile beyond the moon. Your letter is with Jupiter by this.
Why, there it goes. God give his lordship joy.
Enter a country fellow with a basket and 2 pigeons in it.
News? News from heaven. Marcus, the post is come. Sirrah, what tidings? Have you any letters? Shall I have justice? What says Jupiter?
Oh, the gibbet maker. He says that he hath taken them down again. For that man must not be hanged till, I think, next week.
But what says Jupiter, I ask thee?
Alas, sir, I know not Jupiter. I have never drank with him in all my life.
Why, villain, art not thou the carrier?
I? My piggins, sir, nothing else.
Why didst thou not come from heaven?
From heaven? Alas, sir, I never came there. God forbid I should press unto heaven into my young days. Why, I am going with my piggins to the tribunal plebs to take up a matter of brawl betwixt my uncle and one of the emperor's men.
Why, sir, that is as fit as can be to serve for your oration, and let him deliver the pigeons to the emperor from you.
Sorry, I forgot the line.
Tell me, can you deliver an oration to the emperor with a grace?
Tell me, can you deliver an oration to the emperor with a grace?
Nay, truly, sir. I have never said grace in all my life.
Sirrah, come here, make no more ado, but give your pigeons to the emperor. Meanwhile, here's money for your charges. Give me pen and ink. Sirrah, can you, with a grace, deliver up a request?
Aye, sir.
Then, here is a request for you. And when you come to him, kneel, then kiss his foot, then deliver up your pigeons, and then look for your reward. Sirrah, hast thou a knife? Come, let me see it. Here, Marcus, fold it in the oration. And when thou hast given it to the emperor, knock at my door and tell me what he says.
Oh, God be with you, sir. Yes, I will. What a sack.
Come, Marcus, let us go. Publius, follow me.
They exit. Enter Emperor Saturninus and Empress Tamora and her 2 sons, Chiron and Demetrius, with attendants. The emperor brings the arrows in his hand that Titus shot at him.
My lords, what What wrongs are these disturbers of our peace? Buzz in the people's ear, their naught hath passed, but even with the wilful law against the sons of old Andronicus. And what an if his sorrows have so overwhelmed his wits? Shall we be thus afflicted by his frenzies and bitterness? And now he writes to heaven for redress. See, here's to Jove, and this to Mercury, this to Apollo, this to the god of war. Sweet scrolls to fly about the streets of Rome. What's this but libeling against the Senate and blazoning our injustice everywhere? A goodly humour, is it not, my lords?
My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnin, lord of my life, commander of my thoughts, calm thee, and bear the faults of Titus' age, and rather comfort his distressed plight than prosecute the meanest or the best for these contempts. But Titus, I have cut thee to the quick. Thy lifeblood out, if Aaron now be wise, then all is safe. The anchor in the port.
Enter country fellow.
How now, good fellow, wouldst thou speak with us?
Yea, forsooth, and your mistress should be imperial.
Empress, I am, but yonder sits the emperor.
Ah, 'tis he. I have brought you a letter and a couple of pigeons here.
Go, take him away and hang him presently.
How much money must I have?
Come, sirrah, you must be hanged.
Hanged? Oh, well, by a lady. Oh, then I have brought up my neck to a fair end.
He exits with attendants.
Despiteful and intolerable wrongs, as if his traitorous sons that died by law for murder of our brother have by my means been butchered wrongfully. Go, drag the villain hither by the hair, nor age nor honour shall shape privilege.
Enter Lucius Emilius.
What's news with thee, Emilius?
My lords, Rome never had more cause. The Goths have gathered head, and hither they march under conduct of old Lucius, son to old Andronicus, who threats revenge.
Is warlike Lucius general of the Goths? Aye. Now begins the sorrows to approach. To see the common people love so much.
Why should you fear? Is not your city strong?
Aye, the citizens favour Lucius and will revolt from me to succour him.
Oh, king, be thy thoughts imperious like thy name. I will enchant the old Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep.
But he will not entreat his sons for us.
If Tamora does, he will, for I can smooth and fill his aged ears with golden promises that were his old ears deaf, his heart impregnable, yet should both heart and ear obey my tongue. Go thou before to be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucius, and appoint the meeting even at his father's house, the old Andronicus.
Your bidding shall I do effectually.
He exits.
Now will I to that old Andronicus, and temper him with all the art I have, to pluck Lucius from the warlike Goths, and make them his enemies, or at the least Sweet Emperor, be blithe again, and bury all thy fear in my devices.
They exit. Flourish. Enter Lucius with an army of Goths, with drums and soldiers.
Approved warriors, and my faithful friends. I have received letters from great Rome, which signify what hate they bear their emperor. Therefore, great lords, imperious and impatient of your wrongs, and where Rome hath done you any scath, let him make triple satisfaction.
Brave slip sprung from the great Andronicus, whose name was once our terror, now our comfort. Be bold in us, will follow where thou leadst, and be avenged on cursed Tamora.
And as he said, so say we all with him.
I thank you all. Who comes here, led by lusty Goth?
Enter a Goth, leading off Aaron as a child in his arms.
Renowned Lucius, from our troops I strayed, and upon a wasted building suddenly I heard a child cry underneath a wall. I made unto the noise, when soon I heard the crying babe controlled with this discourse. Peace, tawny slave, half me and half thy dame. Villain, thou mightst have been an emperor, but where the bull and cow are both milk white, they never do beget a coal-black calf. Peace, villain, peace, for I must bear you to a trusty Goth, the emperor, because you are the empress's babe. Thus they will hold you dearly for your mother's sake. With this, my weapon drawn, I rushed upon him and brought him hither to use as you think needful of the man.
O worthy Goth! This is the incarnate devil that robbed Andronicus of his good hand. Say, well-eyed slave, why dost not speak? What? Deaf? Not a word? A halter, soldiers! Hang him on this tree, and by his side is fruit of bastardry.
Touch not the boy! He is of royal blood.
To like the sire for ever being good, first hang the child, that he may see it sprawl. Get me a ladder.
Lucius, save the child. If you do this, I'll show thee wondrous things that may advantage thee to hear. If you will not, I'll say no more, but vengeance wrought you all.
Say on, and if it please me, your child shall live.
And if it please thee, why, rest assured, Lucius, 'twill vex your soul to hear what I shall speak of next. For I must talk of murders, rapes, and massacres, acts of black night, abominable deeds, ruthful to hear, yet piteously performed. And this shall all be buried in my death, unless you swear to me that my child shall live.
Tell on thy mind. I say thy child shall live.
Swear that he shall, and then I will begin.
Who should I swear by? You believe in no God.
What if I do not? As indeed I do not. Yet I know you are religious, and hast a thing within thee called conscience. Therefore thou shalt vow by that same God, what God soe'er it may be, to nourish my child, to bring him up, or else I will say nothing to you.
By my God, I swear to you I will.
First know this, I begot him on the Empress.
Oh, most insatiate woman.
Tut, Lucius, this was but a deed of charity compared to what you shall hear from me next. 'Twas her 2 sons that murdered Bassianus. They cut your sister's tongue and ravished her and trimmed her, as you saw.
Oh, detestable villain! Call'st thou that trimming?
Why, she was washed and cut and trimmed, and 'twas sport for them.
No barbarous, beastly villains like yourself.
Indeed. I was their tutor to instruct them. That coddling spirit had they from their mother, that bloody mind I think they learned of me. I trained your brethren to that guileful hole where the dead corpse of Bassianus lay. I wrote the letter I wrote the letter that your father found and hid the gold within that letter mentioned. I played the cheater for your father's hand, and when I had it, drew myself apart and almost broke my heart with extreme laughter. I pried me through the crevice of the wall when, for his hand, he had his 2 sons' heads, beheld his tears, and laughed so heartily that both mine eyes were rainy like to his. And when I told the Empress of this sport, she sounded almost at my pleasing tale, and for my tidings gave me 20 kisses.
How can you say all this and never blush?
Aye, like a black dog, as the saying is.
Are you not sorry for these heinous deeds?
Aye. Sorry that I had not done 1,000 more. Even now I curse the day wherein I did not do some notorious ill as kill a man, or ravish a maid, set deadly enmity between 2 friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, and set fire on barns and on haystacks in the night, and bid the owners quench them with their tears. And I have done 1,000 things, as willingly as one would kill a fly. And it only pains me that I cannot do 10,000 more.
Bring down the devil, for he must not die so sweet a death as hanging presently.
If there be devils where I were a devil, to live and burn in everlasting fire, so I might have your company in hell, but to torment you with my bitter tongue.
Sir, stop his mouth and let him speak no more.
My lord, there is a messenger from Rome that desires to be admitted to your presence.
Let him come near. Oh, welcome, Amilius. What's the news from Rome?
Lord Lucius and you princes of the Goths, the Roman Emperor greets you all by me, and for he understands you're in arms, he craves a parley at your father's house, willing you to demand your hostages, and they shall be immediately delivered.
What says our general?
Amilius, let the emperor give his pledges unto my father and my uncle Marcus, and we will come. March away!
They entered. Enter Tamora and her 2 sons disguised.
Thus, in this strange and sad habiliment, I will encounter with Andronicus, and say I am revenge, sent from below to join with him and right his heinous wrongs. Knock at his study where they say he keeps to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge.
They knock, and Titus above opens his study door.
Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me open the door that all my sad decrees may fly away?
Titus, I am come to talk with thee.
Nope, not a word.
If thou didst know me, thou wouldst talk with me.
I am not mad. I know thee well enough. Witness this wretched stump. Witness these crimson lines. Witness all my sorrow that I know thee well. For our proud empress, mighty Tamora. It's not like coming from my other hand.
Know you, sad man, I am not Tamora. She is your enemy, I am your friend. I am revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom to ease the gnawing vulture of thy mind, by working wreakful vengeance on thy foes. Come down and welcome me to this world's light. Confer with me of murder and of death.
Are you revenge? And are you sent to me to be a torment to mine enemies?
I am. Therefore, come down and welcome me.
Do me some service, ere I come to thee. Lo, by thy side where rape and murder stands, now give me some assurance that you are revenge. Stab them, or tear them on thy chariot wheels, and then I'll come and be thy slave.
These are my ministers, and come with me.
Are they thy ministers? What are they called?
Rape and murder, therefore call it so, because they take vengeance of such kind of men.
Good Lord, how like the Empress's sons they are. And you the Empress. But we worldly men have miserable, mad, mistaking eyes.
He exits above.
This closing with him fits his lunacy. For now, he firmly takes me for revenge, and being credulous in this mad thought, I'll make him send for Lucius, his son, and bid him banquet at his house. And whilst at that banquet I hold him sure, I'll find some cunning practice out of hand to scatter and disperse the giddy Goths, or at the least make them his enemies. See, he comes, and I must ply my theme.
Long have I been forlorn, and all for thee. Welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Rapine and murder, you are welcome to. Oh, how like the Empress and her sons you are. Well are you fitted, had you but a more. Could not all hell afford you such a devil? But, welcome as you are, what shall we do?
What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer, and I'll deal with him.
Show me a villain that hath done a rape, and I am sent to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I will be revenged on them all.
Look round about the wicked streets of Rome, and when thou find'st a man that's like thyself, good murder, stab him, he's a murderer. Go thou with him, and when it is truly hap to find another that is like to thee, good rapine, stab him, he is a ravisher. Go thou with them, and then in the emperor's court there is a queen, attended by a Moor. For up and down she doth resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me and mine.
This we shall do, but would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucius, who leads towards Rome a band of warlike Goths, and bid him banquet at thy house? When he is here, I will bring in the Empress and her sons, the Emperor himself and all thy foes, and at thy mercy shall they stoop and kneel. What says Andronicus to this device?
Marcus, my brother, 'tis sad Titus calls.
Enter Marcus.
Go, gentle Marcus, to thy nephew Lucius. Thou shalt inquire him out among the Goths. Bid him repair to me and bring with him some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Bid him encamp his soldiers where they are. Tell him the Emperor and the Empress too feast at my house, and he shall feast with them.
Marcus exits.
Now will I hence about thy business, and take my ministers along with me.
Oh, nay, let rape and murder stay with me, or else I'll call my brother back again and cleave to no revenge but Lucius.
What say ye, boys? Will you abide with him till I turn again?
Madam, leave us here. Depart at pleasure.
Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to lay a complot to betray thy foes.
I know thou dost. And sweet revenge, farewell.
Tamora exits.
Tell us, old man, how shall we be employed?
Tut, I have work enough for you to do. Publius, come hither. Caius and Valentine.
Publius, Caius, and Valentine enter.
What is your will?
Know you these two?
The Empress's sons, I take them. Chiron, Demetrius.
Oh, fie, Publius, fie, thou art too much deceived. The one is murder, and rape is the other's name, and therefore bind them, gentle Publius. Caius and Valentine, lay your hands on them. Oft have you heard me wish for such an hour, and now I find it.
Titus exits.
Villains, forbear! We are the Emperor's sons!
And therefore do we what we are commanded. Stop, close their mouths. Let them not speak a word. Is he shore bound? Make sure you bind him fast.
Enter Titus Andronicus with a knife, and Lavinia with a basin.
Come, come, Lavinia, look, thy foes abound. Oh, villains, Chiron and Demetrius, here stands the spring whom you have stained with mud. My hand cut off and made a merry jest. Both her sweet hands, her tongue, and that more dear than hands or tongue, her spotless chastity. Inhuman traitors, you constrained and forced. This one hand left is left to cut your throats, whilst Lavinia doth hold the basin that receives your guilty blood. You know that your mother means to feast with me and calls herself revenge and thinks me mad. Hark, villains, I will grind your bones to dust. And with your blood and it, I'll make a paste and make 2 pasties of your shameful heads. This is the feast that I have bid her to. Now prepare your throats. Lavinia, come, receive the blood. So, now bring them in. For I'll play the cook and see them ready against their mother comes.
They exit, carrying the dead bodies. Enter Lucius, Marcus, and the Goths, with Aaron, guards, and an attendant carrying the baby.
Uncle Marcus, since it is my father's mind that I repair to Rome, I am content.
And ours with thine, before what fortune will.
Good uncle, take you in this barbarous villain. Let him receive no sustenance. Fetter him till he be brought unto the Empress's face for testimony of her foul proceedings.
Some devil whisper curses in my ear, and prompt me that my tongue may utter forth the bitter malice of my swelling heart.
Away, inhuman dog, unhallowed slave! Sires, help our uncle to convey him in. The Emperor is here.
Guards and Aaron exit. Enter Empress Saturninus and Empress Tamora, with Emilius, tribunes, attendants, and others.
What? Hath the firmament more sons than one?
Oh, what boots it thee to call thyself a son?
Rome's emperor and nephew break the parley. The feast is ready, which the careful Titus hath ordained to an honourable end, for peace, for love, for league and good to Rome. Please you therefore draw nigh and take your places.
Marcus, we will.
Trumpet sounding. Enter Titus like a cook, placing the dishes with young Lucius and others, and Lavinia with a veil over her face.
Welcome, my lord. Welcome, dread queen. Welcome, you warlike Goths. Welcome, Lucius. And welcome all. Although the cheer be poor, 'twill fill your stomach. Please, you eat of it.
Why art thou thus attired, Andronicus?
Because I would be sure to have all well to entertain your highness and your empress.
We are beholding to you, good Andronicus.
And if your highness knew my heart, you were. My lord the emperor, resolve me this. Was it well done of rash Virginius to slay his daughter with his own right hand because she was enforced, stained, and deflowered?
Was Andronicus?
Your reason, mighty lord?
Well, because the girl should not survive her shame, and by her presence still renew his sorrows.
A reason mighty, strong, and effectual. A pattern, precedent, and lively warrant for me, most wretched, to perform the like. Die, die, Lavinia, and thy shame with thee, and with thy shame thy father's sorrow die.
Speak, Lavinia. I know not why I am here. I know not what I am. No doubt someone with my name, Lavinia, did exist. But she may have been so different from my own idea of myself, or my poet's idea of me, that it only confuses me to think about her. As far as I know, it was the poet that brought me to life. As the general's daughter, as my brother's sister, and as a woman. To be wooed, to be won, to be loved. It is in his language, in his words, that I tried to remember who I am. And I am starting to remember. As I speak my poet's words, I begin to hear my voice, and I'm able to remember myself vividly, with all sorts of emotions stirring inside me, like angry bees in a box, like a Roman mob. How can I let them out? You see, my poet slighted my life. He wrote my life not as I felt it, lived it. Yes, I was beautiful. And yes, I was Saturninus and then Bassianus' betrothed. But pure, Lavinia, he called me. Pure. What does it mean to be climbing onto a stranger's bed? To be poked? To be prodded? An engagement ring wrapped up with a pretty bow? I knew who I was. It was not enough. That night, the trees were black, with only the moon awake to see. My eyes lift up past the trees and find her. I stare at her poker face, white as a knuckle. She is not sweet like mother. She is bald and wild. Oh, how I would have wanted to believe that she saw me and that she had sent to me a message of tenderness, of protection, of love. But the moon sees nothing of this. And the only message I get is blackness. Blackness and silence. But I won't die. Unlike the others, my poet didn't give me the absolution of death. I must go on continuing to half exist in his half lines in this stasis of darkness. There is nothing here. Here you cannot poke and stir. Here I am trying to learn peacefulness. Lying in this valley of oblivion that is so dull, so colourless, so conventional with these hands. Try and put a ring on me now. A dirty girl with a thumb stump covered in blood, unable to talk. But I have something to say. If I have to keep existing like this, then at least I must break out and speak. My poet didn't let me say a word, so I have to take the word from him. Blood is the only language that my family speaks, the only language known to Rome. I sought for so long to make sure that blood was not my legacy, but now, if my revenge is to be written, blood will be the ink, and it will say this: I am a woman, therefore may be loved. I am a woman, therefore shall be respected. I am Lavinia, therefore must be feared.
What hast thou done? Unnatural and unkind.
Killed her for whom my tears have made me blind. While I am as woeful as Virginius was, and have 1,000 times more cause than he to do this outrage. And now it is done.
What? Was she ravished? Tell who did the deed.
Will't please you eat? Will't please your highness feed?
Why hast thou slain thy only daughter thus?
Not I. 'Twas Chiron and Demetrius. They ravished her and cut away her tongue, and 'twas they that did her all this wrong.
Go fetch them hither to us presently.
Why, there they are, both baked in the pie, from which their mother daintily hath fed, eating the flesh that she herself hath bred. 'Tis true, witness my knife's sharp point.
Die, frantic wretch, this accursed deed!
Can the son's eye behold his father bleed? There's meat for mead, and death for a deadly deed.
A great tumult. Lucius, Marcus, and others go aloft to the upper stage.
Sad-faced men, people and sons of Rome, like a forlorn and desperate castaway, do shameful execution upon herself. Speak, Rome's dear friend. My heart is not compact of flint nor steel, nor can I utter all our bitter grief, but floods of tears will drown my oratory and break my utterance, even in the time that it should move you to attend me most and force you to commiseration. This is Rome's young captain. Let him tell the tale while I stand by and weep to hear him speak.
Then, gracious auditory, be it known to you that Creon and the damned Demetrius were they that murdered our emperor's brother, and they it were that ravished our sister. For their fell faults our brothers were beheaded, our father's tears despised, and basely cozened of that true hand that fought Rome's quarrel out and sent her enemies unto the grave. Lastly, myself, unkindly banished, the gates shut on me, and turned weeping out to beg relief among Rome's enemies, who drowned their enmity in my true tears and oped their arms to embrace me as a friend. My scars can witness, dumb although they are, that my report is just and full of truth. But soft, methinks, I do protest too much, citing my worthless praise. Oh, pardon me, for when no friends are by, men often praise themselves.
Now is my turn to speak. Behold the child. This was Tamora delivered, the issue of an irreligious Moor, chief architect and plotter of these woes. The villain is alive in Titus's house, and as he is to witness, this is true. Now judge what cause had Titus to revenge these wrongs unspeakable past patience or more than any living man could bear. Now have you heard the truth? What say you, Romans? Speak, Romans, speak, and if you say we shall, lo, hand in hand, Lucius and I will fall.
Come, come, thou reverend man of Rome, and bring our emperor gently in thy hand. Lucius, our emperor, for well I know, the common voice do cry, it shall be so.
Lucius, all hail, Rome's royal emperor.
Go into old Titus's sorrowful house, and hither hail that misbelieving Aaron, to be adjudged some direful, slaughtering death as punishment for his most wicked life.
Attendants exit. Lucius and Marcus come down from the upper stage. Lucius, all hail, Rome's gracious governor.
Thanks, gentle Romans. May I govern so to heal Rome's arms and wipe away her woes. But, gentle people, give me a while, for nature puts me to a heavy task.
Tear for tear, and loving kiss for kiss, thy brother Marcus tenders on thy lips.
Come hither, boy. Thy grandfather loves thee well. Many a time he danced thee on his knee, snug thee asleep, his loving breast thy pillow. Many a story hath he told of thee, bid thee bear his pretty tales in mind, and talk of them when he was dead and gone.
Oh, now, sweet boy, bid him farewell. Commit him to the grave.
Enter
Oh.
Aaron with guards.
Oh, you sad Andronici, have done with woes, give sentence to this execrable wretch that hath been breeder of these dire events.
Set him breast deep in earth, and famish him. There let him stand and rave and cry for food.
Why should wrath be mute and fury dumb? 10,000 ever yet I did would I perform, if I had my will. If one good deed in all my life I did, I do repent it from my very soul.
Aaron is led off by guards.
Some loving friends, convey the emperor hence, and give him burial in his father's grave. My father and Lavinia shall forthwith be closed in our household's monument. As for that ravenous tiger Tamora, no funeral rite, no mournful bell shall ring her burial, but throw her forth to beasts and birds of prey. Her life was beastly and devoid of pity, and being dead, let birds on her take pity.
They exit, carrying the dead body.